Dictation exercise 83-84. Now, coming to the points, the Ministry of Finance has got allotment of rupees 4 lakhs. Sir, how lethargic is the attitude of the government of the day with regard to its own services, employees of the central government? I think there is a demand yesterday, every hour, every month in this country for an interim relief. The other house and this house also discussed this problem, and yesterday it was replied that the matter has been referred to the Pay Commission. If this is the attitude of the government of the day towards its own employees about the payment of interim relief, it really reveals that the government of the day is not interested in solving the grievances of their staff. Sir, if the central government employees do not exert their best, I ask you, can this parliament function? Can this democracy function in this country? Therefore, they have grossly omitted this anticipated estimate in this grant of rupees 4 lakhs. Sir, I know there was a controversy even this morning when the Labour and Employment Minister was talking to the members of the consultative committee of his ministry. He says the question of paying bonus to the central government employees will be considered by the Pay Commission. May I ask whether any terms of reference were given to the Pay Commission for consideration of payment of bonus to the central government employees? The question of bonus comes only in 1971, and this Pay Commission was appointed in 1969. In April also, when the terms of reference were modified and sent to the Pay Commission by the Prime Minister, she did not include the question of the payment of bonus to the central government employees. How deliberate and misleading is it for the Labour Minister in the Houses of Parliament to say that the question of bonus will be tackled by the Pay Commission. Here also, I may suggest that the important sector of the central government employees are the railwaymen, who are the backbone of this country's progress. Was it not admitted on the floor of the House that the railwaymen were performing wonderful work in the recent Indo-Pakistan struggle? How bravely they confronted the guns and the bombs. They are the people who have sacrificed much, and yet they have been denied the bonus. When the question arose in this House and in the other House, the Labour Minister said that it will be considered when the Bonus Act is being amended. The Bonus Act is being reviewed in a committee, and to that committee also this question was not referred. I would say that in the interest of the country, in the interest of democracy, in the interest of the leaders who have sacrificed everything for the democracy, you must quickly solve the problem of railwaymen and problems of the central government employees by giving them bonus. There is no point in not delaying the payment of the money, which is their legitimate right. Sir, I would suggest here for the consideration of the Prime Minister and the government, although this bonus question is not under consideration with reference to the railwaymen as a notional grant, the Prime Minister can say that the Puja festival advance which the railway men are getting will be converted into a puja bonus. It will not come to more than 4%. If the Prime Minister does it, she will become the beloved Prime Minister, the greatest Prime Minister of the country, because the backbone of the progress of the economy of the country is the railwaymen. Otherwise, there is a grave danger facing the country. If the railwaymen so far in the last 114 years have never gone on strike on an all India level, yet on this issue of bonus, the consolidated opinion is so great that nobody can prevent that after September. I want the Prime Minister to give her consideration for the conversion of this festival advance into a bonus. Then I come to demand number 58 of the Ministry of Irrigation and Power. As you are aware, we have given a very solemn assurance to the people of this country after independence that every village in the country will be electrified. In the Gandhi centenary year, we said that not less than 1 lakh villages will be electrified, but have we fulfilled that promise to the people? We have not. Here also, what is happening? The Tamil Nadu government came forward and said that the last village in Tamil Nadu has been electrified. I had recently paid a visit to the village in Tamil Nadu about 50 miles away from the city of Madras. I found that there were only 5 lights in all, although there were 80 homesteads, and you are doing the propaganda that all the villages in Tamil Nadu have been electrified, that Tamil Nadu leads all other states in India in the matter of rural electrification. Sir, I have been to Russia and I found that every village is electrified. What is communism? Communism is nothing but the electrification and its application to the working classes. We are very close collaborators of the Russian people. Recently, in the last 1 month, there have been vast developments in electrification, which is good for the country. Our great leader, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who wanted to introduce mixed economy in the country, also stressed the gains of electrification. Now, sir, in irrigation and power, our governments have utterly failed. They have not taken the first step of electrifying all the villages. Unless electrification takes place, industrial development cannot take place. So, industrial development takes place only in cities, and so there is exodus of people from rural areas to the cities. On account of this, slums are created in the cities, and then in the legislatures, members are asked why the slums have been created. So villages must be developed first. They must be given all facilities.
अगर आपको हमारा डिक्टेशन अच्छा लगता है, पसंद आता है तो आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें, जिससे कि आने वाला नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आपको मिल सके।